Now, wow. Wow. Hi. All right, let's begin this video this way, all right? Decoder in the house. I need you all to come forward. I mean, guys, listen, you all need to come forward. So, there was a scene between Mide and Bright last night, yeah? There was a scene between both of them. So, they moved their beddings from the lounge to one of the bedrooms upstairs. You know, there's a space in between two beds, so they had positioned their bed right there. Now, there were conversations between both of them. In fact, before the conversation, from whence the camera started showing us that scene, you know, the usual soft and then they were kind of whispering, and Mide had she had whispered some sort of commendation to Bright, and then she had sealed it with a chef's kiss. She was like this, chef's kiss. And the guy was like, and then she went like, I don't know what she did right there, but chef's kiss. And Bright was like, it depends on what you received. I say, ah. What are they sharing that people are receiving beneath the duvet? Ladies and gentlemen, what are they sharing? He did not stop there. I mean, it was like, no, it's not like that too. It's not like that. I say, it's not like that. Anyways, they were having light-hearted conversations, right? And the camera has moved away from them. And then later on, the camera has returned back to them, yeah? And this time around, I don't know if they switched positions, because initially, Mide was on this side and Bright Morgan was on the right-hand side, yeah? So I don't know if they switched positions, but what we saw next was from the, I don't even know which direction the hand was coming from, but there was this rigorous, you know, like there was a stroking happening. And we know what it is called, for those of us that are above 18. It felt like Mide was giving Bright a hand job, because there's nobody on earth that would tell me that Bright stretched out his hand and Mide was rubbing the hand. And wait, see, even me that is rubbing my own hand, my hand is now very hot. What else could Mide have been rubbing in that manner? Tell me. But whatever it was, ladies and gentlemen, there was a stroking, there was a rubbing, and the thing became fast, and it became fast, and it became fast, and it was just going and going. And here's the most interesting part of that moment. They were having conversations, like just small talk, as that whole thing was going on. But I cannot be fooled. Gloria Elijah cannot be fooled, because I sensed that they were having that conversation to kind of conceal the fact that there was some other serious business going on beneath the sheets at that point in time. Yes! I mean, you guys should decode now. So they were having small talk. But if you listen to their voice properly, you will sense the quick breaths that they were taking. Whoever was at the receiving end of whatever was going on, you could also hear the silent pantings beneath the words that they were speaking. Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, that thing continued like that. It was just going on and on and on and on and on until the cameras moved away from them. And then not long afterwards, we saw both of them downstairs. They came to come and eat food. And I was looking at them like this. I know what you did. I know what you did. Listen, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to tell you this again, right? And this is one thing I always say whenever I see these housemates doing stuffs that mommy and daddy does. Yes, I always tell you all that, listen, at the end of the day, they are all consenting adults. So long as nobody comes out to come and say tomorrow that, this one forced me or that one forced me or I am good. I mean, knock yourselves out. Knock yourselves out. you see, it was kind of funny at some point because of how sneaky they were trying to be, but not realizing that we have some OGs in the house so that we can smell it from a million miles away. Like, we can smell it, we can sense it, we can see it. If you like, hide under the rock. We will know. We know the familiar sights and sounds. We will know. But ladies and gentlemen, the question to all of you is, what do you make of that scene? Do you think either Mide or Bright was just scratching somebody's hand, or maybe you think that there was something else going on there? What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comment section below. But anyways, you are all specially welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Bbnaija. This is Frankly Speaking with Bbnaija, and I call myself the girl with the tea. Yes, I thought I should start this video on a very, very light note because, of course, the content of this video is just pretty much light because it is the 6th Saturday night party of the 10/10 season. And yeah, the party was amazing. It was really amazing. However, not a lot happened. There were one or two things that happened, which I'm going to share on this video, but not a lot happened, you know, in its entirety. All right, so we're going to focus more on the aftermath of the party, where not really much also happened. Yeah, I think the housemates were overly excited about how wonderful their night was, and so they did not bother to give us that much drama. All right, but yeah, we're gonna get into this video right now, and of course I look forward to hearing your thoughts in the comment section below, so please make sure you engage in the comment section. All right, now without further ado, let's get right into the video. First, let's begin with some sights and scenes from the Saturday night party. Or I think we should first begin with their outfits because, guys, these housemates were looking fabulous. They were all looking amazing, with the exception of maybe one or two persons' outfits, which I did not really like. I felt like it was just too plain, yes, but the rest, they were looking amazing. Yo! Whoever was in charge of the selection of what they were wearing, that person did a fantastic job because every single one of those housemates, okay, with the exception of those two, actually ate. The outfits were looking amazing, sizing, measurement, everything was looking really, really perfect. I can't even decide if I had a favorite of all of them, but they were all looking amazing, especially the guys. The guys were actually looking regal. Regal! They all looked like grooms from different tribes in Nigeria, you know, set to go get their brides. They were looking amazing. I just loved it all, and everybody ate. It was looking amazing. Now, for the outfit I did not really like, it was Rude Boy. I did not like it. I felt like his outfit was looking too plain. It felt like the stylist ran out of ideas as to what Rude Boy should wear. I don't know if there was an additional layer to that fit that he was wearing, but I felt like it was just too plain. Like, why? Everybody else was looking banging, regal. Why was Rude Boy looking like the security guy that he told her, yeah, go and dress well, or guy is getting married today? It did not look good. And then also for Faith's outfit, I felt like it was kind of plain. Now, why was he black? Why was Rude Boy and Faith's outfit black? It did not make sense to me. Every other male housemate was looking amazing, and one way or the other, they were kind of glowing. You know, they were looking colorful, vibrant. Why did those two people's outfit look like they were going for a funeral? And it wasn't really befitting. Yes, I just felt like it was kind of underwhelming what they were wearing. But overall, the stylist tried, so take your flowers. Take your flowers. You did a great job. Take your flowers. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, as I said, not a lot was happening during the party because not so basically, the housemates were rocking the party as usual. The vibe was on check. The energy was on high. Everything was amazing, although the DJ was kind of annoying sometimes because I just did not understand the kind of transitions that the DJ was pulling off from time to time. I was wondering, like, okay, I'm sorry, did you not piece together all your tracks on this your playlist? Because it seems like if you play this one, you are thinking about, oh my god, what next song should I play? And then you are confused, and then boom, you now say, okay, let's play this one. You now jump onto this one again. I mean, the DJ was kind of inconsistent, you know, and it was kind of disturbing because it was kind of interrupting the flow of energy from the housemates. The housemates were rocking. They were having a great time. you know, when the DJ was actually playing a nice track. But then at other times, he would play a track, just give the housemates some time to rock to that track. Oga would just come like enemy of progress, a killjoy, and just come, just interrupt it and change it. You know that annoying thing that some DJs do when they play a track and everybody's like, yo, let us vibe. And then before you know it, boom, DJ will just come and then press it and then change the track. It was so annoying, yeah, sometimes. But overall, it was nice. It was a great party. Now, there was a particular scene during the party where they had played one of Davido's famous tracks. It's this Femme. They played that song. And I don't know who pulled Faith into that circle, but almost all the male housemates and then some female housemates, they surrounded Faith. Faith was in the middle and it was dancing. Guys, that scene, it kind of felt uncomfortable, right? But I was kind of checking in on Faith to see if he was okay with it all. And thankfully, it was okay, right? So I'm not going to make a big deal out of it. So long as he was okay with it, I'm okay with it. But it kind of looked weird because some people, I was looking at the way they were doing the Femme and they were taking it really personal, you know? I mean, I understand that the song in itself, it was some kind of message to him as head of house that, oh, you're doing too much, because of course they've been telling him all week that he's been doing too much. So he was in the middle right there and, you know, they surrounded him and be like, you know, they do too much, you do too much, Femme, everybody, you know, why you done it, para, you know, they were just singing the song and it was like, and it was right there in the middle and it was taking it all. And then I saw Sultana rushing from the other side where she was, and she was rushing there too. I was like, Femme. I'm like, oh wow, slow down. That was very personal. Slow down, you know. And Joanna too was there. And then after the whole Femme situation, you see the guys, they were giving each other a handshake, a pat on the back, and it felt like, oh wow, you people really wanted to do this. I hope you all feel better now. But as I said, I saw Joanna kind of, I think she was asking him, are you okay? Like, are you good? And he was like, oh, yes, there's nothing to it. So I'm like, okay, so long as he's okay, I'm good. I'm not going to make a big deal out of it. But that side did not really look good. It kind of looked weird. But just for the sake of fun, we leave it as it is. But I would love to hear your thoughts about that, guys. What did you think about that scene? How did you feel about it? Did you see it and you were like, oh my god, or did you see it and you were like, ew, did you guys have to bring your beef into the party room? So which one was your reaction? Let me know in the comment section below. Now fast forward to after the party. Now after the party was a conflict resolution session between Doris and her husband Denari. I forgot to mention that when the party first started, I think in the first 30 minutes of the party, Denari was not dancing with Doris. Apparently, she had said something that sort of ticked him off and he had been upset and he was avoiding her, basically. So he had maintained his distance. But later on, he had moved towards her and they had danced and they had resolved their differences and they were good again. But then after the party, they were talking about it and Doris was really, really upset. And guys, I'm going to be frank with you, because I was on live yesterday, so I did not really understand what the genesis was or what exactly was really pissing her off. Yes, but they had talked it through and they had settled everything finally. Yeah. Now, fast forward to Dede and Kola. There was a moment between these two in the kitchen and it was all initiated by Dede, all right? Now, I saw that a lot of Dede's fans online, they were making a big deal out of something. Like okay, let me not say they were making a big deal out of something. They were unsettled about something that had actually transpired between those two in the kitchen. I'm going to talk about it right now. So, as I said, it was Dede that initiated that interaction first. She and Joanna, they were going to be taken to their private quarters in a bit. So she had gone to Kola and Imisi where they were at their bed space in the lounge, of course, and she had called for Kola's attention and Kola had followed her to the kitchen. And then, I'm sorry to say, but I was quite dumbfounded when she said, oh, I just wanted to let you know that I will soon be going to my private quarters. And guys, I'm like, okay, I don't understand. So you just wanted to tell this guy that you would soon be going to your private quarters. So you literally had to summon him to follow you all the way to the kitchen to pass that singular information, or there was actually more to it, or he just needed his attention, or he just wanted to talk. Because she could have as well gone to him right there where he was with Imisi to say, oh, dude, just so that, you know, you don't look for me or miss me too much, I'm out. And boom, you're out. You're out for real. But she had to go and call him. For me, that was Dede looking for trouble. That was Dede looking for trouble. But we know that when Dede does these things, she also has an agenda. So it's not like she's innocent in anything that happened afterwards. So they were in the kitchen and Kola started asking for a hug. And you know, in Dede's typical fashion, she was refusing. And they were just talking about it. And then finally, she offered the hug. Emphasis on she offered the hug. Kola asked. She refused. But then after doing plenty shakara, she offered the hug. She went in and really hugged him. And then afterwards, she pulled back. But then Kola wanted more. He wanted more. So he was asking for more. And she was telling him, no, sit this one out. You don't always get a hug whenever you ask for a hug. And I'm like, okay, I don't understand. But he asked and you gave. So, but anyways, he was still asking for a hug. That's another hug and she wasn't giving. But then he stood up, went behind her and held her and was trying to draw her in for, you know, a backward hug. And she was kind of resisting reluctantly, you know, like, stop. And I'm like, you know, that kind of stop it, I like it type of vibe. That was the kind of vibe that Dede was giving. Now, she wasn't saying, I don't want it, but she wasn't saying, I want it either. You understand? So one would expect that, okay, if you don't really want this hug, just say, no, Kola, stop. The way she used to be very strict. But now you can see that all of those boundaries are broken. There's no more boundaries when it comes to Dede and Kola. Dede has literally shredded all the boundaries. So Kola now has taken a cue from her that, okay, this girl is now pretty much exposing herself to me and I'm going to receive the invitation and, you know, go in for whatever I want. And that was exactly what he was doing last night. And you see, you know this thing they say about when you give somebody a handshake, they can go ahead and take the whole arm. That was exactly what happened between these two last night in the kitchen. Because Dede had, you know, offered the hug after she had rejected Kola's request in the first place. And then the second time that he had hugged her from behind, she did not necessarily resist strongly, right? And then the next thing that came out of Kola's mouth was, is that your titties? In other words, the top that Dede was wearing, her nipples were literally poking out, like they were literally pushing the top, which is typical of how most of the girls in the house dress. I mean, they are in Big Brother's house, so most of the time they did not see the need to wear bras, you know, so most of the time it's a free the nipple type of thing going on in Big Brother's house. So Kola was asking her, is that your titties? And I'm going to be frank with all of you. I personally found that offensive because for me, I feel like just as the guys are free to wear just their pants, that's their trousers around the house and singlets, they should also understand that the girls should also be free to wear their tops without bras. I mean, everybody deserves the right to free the nipples, allow the nipples to breathe, allow the boobies to relax. Not all the time, the tension of packing your boobies with bra all the time. It gets really exhausting, right? So, Kola asking her that question, I kind of felt offensive. I found it offensive on Dede's behalf. And she too found it offensive because she was like, you know, she was kind of shocked. Like, oh my God, how did we get from talking respectfully to you asking me about my boobies, my titties? It does not really make sense. And Kola did not see anything wrong about it. And you see, that's the problem. That is the problem. That is the repercussion. That is what Dede gets for tearing down her boundaries with this guy. Because now he feels like he can literally comment on her body. He feels like he can now begin to sexualize her. And you can also sense that now when they have conversations, the way he used to place her on this very, very high pedestal, it seems like he has started reducing the pedestal, the height of the pedestal. So he has now, if not even beginning to, he has literally reduced the height of the pedestal. Because she was like, no, don't say that. And you could see that she was genuinely taken aback. And she was even holding herself like she was trying to protect the titties. And the guy was like, like for him, it wasn't a big deal. Like, and in that moment, I really expected Dede to take a cue and end the conversation and say, okay, you know what? Good night. I just wanted to let you know that I'm leaving the house to my private quarters. Simple and short. At least take what is left of your self-respect and get out of that conversation. But Dede was still there. Still, you know, when they talk sometimes, I wonder what they even talk about. Because quite frankly, some of the things they talk about is just plain useless. It does not make sense. They are busy flirting with each other and just talking about nothing, you know. So the whole situation kind of turned awkward. And for me, I just did not blame Kola, because it is the leverage that Dede has given to him that he is leveraging on. I mean, what was she expecting? What was she expecting? For a guy that could never even talk to you before, that could never even look you in the eye before. Oh, all in the name of flipping the script, you've broken down your boundaries. You've now started allowing him to touch you, to hug you, to hold your waist, to do this, to do that. They say na small person till they enter person eye, abi. So now, from holding you, holding your waist, holding your back, people kissing and pecking or whatever, he is now commenting on your boobies. Very soon, he's going to comment on the thing in between your legs and ask you if it is tight or loose. That is how it works. That is how it works in most cases. That is how it works in most cases where there are no boundaries. That is how it works. It all begins with a smile. And then it moves on from there to there, to there, to there. And then before you know it, boom. Now, finally, for this video, there was a slight disagreement between Sultana and JASONJAE last night. So it was all about their sleeping arrangement. JASONJAE was saying that for last night, he did not want to sleep in the same bed with Sultana for the fear of something happening between both of them. And that had really offended her. She was really offended because anytime he made such a statement, oh, I don't want to sleep beside you so that something doesn't happen, they end up sleeping together and something ends up happening, you know? So she was really offended. She was telling him that if they do not sleep together in the same bed, you know, that yesterday night, that would be the end of it. They will never spend the night in the same bed ever again. And it seemed like JASONJAE was not particularly unfazed, but he was saying that, no, don't say that, don't take it that way, don't say that, don't take it that way. But she was quite offended. She was really upset, actually, or she was probably pretending to be upset. And she said, okay, fine, that is it. It's a done deal. They're never spending the night together again. And he too was like, okay, fine. And then she was upset. She was quiet. And then he said, that does not mean I'm not going to talk to you tomorrow. That does not mean I'm not going to eat your stew. You promised to cook stew for us. I'm going to eat your stew. But she was quite upset. Big Soso even came over to have a conversation with them, but she wasn't really responsive because she was quite upset. She was quiet, you know. And I was just looking at those two like that, ladies and gentlemen, because something that actually happened earlier yesterday. JASONJAE had told Culture that Sultana had given him a blowjob. And we know the reason JASONJAE told Culture that information. Culture is the general BBC CNN of the house. I'm telling you, nobody's secret is safe with Culture. Nobody's secret. So watching both of them last night, it made me wonder what exactly was JASONJAE's motive for bringing that excuse, you know, that, oh, I'm afraid something might happen between us. I don't want us to spend the night in the same bed. Like, it just did not make sense. So, frankly speaking, I don't know if they ended up spending the night together because, hey, I was too unbothered to wait to find out. But ladies and gentlemen, what do you think about that? Because this seems to now be a regular thing between both of them. You know, they will have this conversation of not wanting, okay, not like they will have the conversation. JASONJAE will say that he doesn't want to spend the night with her, and then they will then spend the night and something will end up happening. Like, what do you make of it? Let me know in the comment section below, as this is where I end this video, all right? And I would love to hear your thoughts about all I have shared. So please go ahead and drop those comments, all right? I'll see you guys on another episode of Frankly Speaking with Bbnaija. Thanks for watching. Have an amazing day. Bye.